Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Murmuhu. So Naren is singing. We saw fasten your mind, fasten. Fasten means, how do we fasten? Fasten is not to separate. Something like applying glue or gum, which makes it fix. And what are anything, ordinary things. If you bind, how much force it can withstand is the most important thing. And it must become one with the entity. Now I put a gum. Gum is weak. If I put little more force, it will come away. It should never come away again. What will you do? We melt the two into one object. It will not separate. Now, a pipe is there, another pipe I have to fix. You put any gum, Fevicol, this, that, so many gums are available, but when the pressure is put, it breaks off. But when you do the welding, in welding, both materials are melted and they are remolding as if they become one. You can put any amount of force, it is like a one pipe which is not going to break anymore. And this oneness, total oneness, both melting each other and becoming one, we call it fastening. Now, it is fasten your mind means it should never again come out from the Lord. It must be there forever. How do you do it? Can we do this? What is going to bind? Nothing can bind two souls except love. You tie powerful ropes, it is separate only. Body alone can be bound through two ropes, but souls are not. Only thing that can bind is love. Love is going to bind, and love is not possible between two dissimilar species. An ant cannot love an elephant, nor a dog can love a cat. They cannot. Dog can love a dog. Elephant can love an elephant. Ant can love an ant. But dissimilar, it is not possible. Man is different from God. Man cannot love God. But the divinity, what he is hidden within. He is divine. A screen has been put which has separated him from his own divinity, and he doesn't understand he is divine. He looks upon himself as body and start working in the world, forgetting his identity, and he thinks himself to be a man and has been having intelligence, power, this, that and all. Ego manifests and he does good and bad. According to Vasana, again his tendencies grow. So in every human, there will be three natures. One is because of the intelligence, he acquires these three natures. One is his own original, real divinity. Other is humanhood and animalhood. In everyone there will be animalhood, humanhood and divinehood. Pashu bhava, Manava bhava and Daiva bhava. This Pashu bhava is to be destroyed. Humanhood is to be transcended. You have to go beyond it and manifest the inner divinity. You must become divine. As long as animalhood is there, the tendency is to run, catch, hold, drag. Whether you have or not, I don't know. I want it. animal nature. Then each time he catches, he will see it is giving pain. Lives after lives, he runs after this world, thinking that he will enjoy. But each enjoyment is giving him pain. Then, after running many, many lives, he thinks, where is real happiness? Where is peace? Why am I running like this? Then slowly, the intelligence comes to help. Buddhi. Oh, this world is just a passing event and constantly changing flux. I cannot get here anything. I have to slowly, that animal nature becomes weak. Then he sees, looks at others, similarly suffering, like he was suffering. He wants to help them. I too was suffering one day like this. How many lives I suffered. He wants to serve. He wants to remove the suffering of others. So animalhood becomes weak and humanhood slowly becomes powerful. He will run and help others, serve others. He doesn't want anything now. Animalhood has gone away. In serving and loving people, his animalhood has come down, humanhood is projected. Though this humanhood is there, which is making him now whole life spending, he cannot transform anybody. You see, a mother gives birth to a child and it is totally becoming independent. A child which is left by mother will die away. It cannot survive. In no other species, the baby will die if mother dies or leaves and goes away. In human, it cannot survive. If mother lives somewhere and goes away, it will die. It doesn't know how to search for its food. It doesn't have any capacity. That child, when it starts walking on the floor, if mother calls it, he says, it starts going. Nature is separating child from mother. That child, when it 2 years old, it will select what it has to eat. Mother cannot select. He says, no. It throws away what it doesn't like. It demands, I want this. Already that it is separating from mother's views. In youth, when youth comes, it's totally independent of parents. He has world in front of him. Parents are not there for him. Parents are there only to supply and take care of his bodily existence. He doesn't listen anymore. See how that everything is now this, how that human nature works. What can be said mine? My mother has right to give birth and capacity to give birth because nature has provided her. But she can never say that child is mine. It is nature's. The mother was blessed with motherhood to give a birth and protect the child and make it grow up. She can never say the child is mine. It belongs to God. It belongs to nature. Nature has utilized her to give birth to that soul. Now, you cannot transform anybody. Whole life spending, if a hungry man you serve, after 3 hours, again he is hungry. You give education to a man, a child, and bring him up, the moment he gets a job, he runs after the enjoyments. You cannot do anything. Nothing can be done. Give any help. Health is not there. Give him health. Immediately he will run after the enjoyment. He doesn't sit and call on God or serve others. So you cannot transform anybody. You can serve only, help them only. That will not solve the problem. after struggling lives after lives, he is trying to bring solace to this world. He sees he has not done anything. He could not. When I was in Chennai, we had an orphanage where about 700 children, orphans, are being brought up. We take small children, whole responsibility of looking after, bringing up their education, their health, everything is taken care. After they finish the education, they are sent out getting a job for them also, a decent job, which now presently suppose he is getting 50,000, 80,000 salary. He is alone or he has got married. If you ring up, he will not lift the phone also. After somehow repeated trying, he says, oh, I was busy in my duties and this, and I could not take the phone. Then he says, the Swami will ask, can you send 500 rupees monthly? We will keep another boy. He says, Swamiji, you don't know what is outside. I am getting 80,000, but it is not sufficient for me and my wife. We have to struggle day and night. And we won't be able to give. Whatever we want to give, we will send once in a year. And he will send 500 rupees once in a year. Where he can give so much. Whole life we have looked after. And he has totally forgotten. He doesn't feel the gratitude also. He doesn't, how I grew up from zero, from nothing. I can bring up another child. They are looking after, just have to spend 500 rupees out of 80,000 rupees. He says it is insufficient because their enjoyments have reached the acme. They cannot save, they cannot give. For taking one meal, they go miles after mile to a particular hotel to have that on a car. But they cannot give to a child orphan to bring them up. Then we see, have we given education and ditched them? By giving education, what is the use? Only thing, we served them, trying to see God in them, and we are benefited, but we feel guilty of having given education and made him run after the enjoyments. Because they come with the past tendencies, the tendencies overtake. Any amount of education you give, understanding you give, the old tendencies, when they are born, only 20% will be parental traits. 80% is the software they bring from the past life. That takes over. And they go away. How to change? God alone has to change. So, the nature takes the rod, makes them suffer. The pain makes them again to wake up to realities. They start going again in the right path. So, this trend, now changing is impossible. After that, he thinks, who is controlling all this whole world? Why it is happening? One is happy, one is miserable. One is healthy, one is stricken with disease. When he starts analyzing the nature, what causes joy and suffering? Same thing he saw Buddha's life, you see, how the conversion took place. He had never seen suffering in his life. He's a prince, never exposed to any suffering or pain. One day while going out, he sees a dead person. And then he sees an old man, a sick man, suffering. He says, I must put an end to the suffering. Till I find out a way, I will not rest anymore. Young child, newborn almost, few months old child, young wife, he leaves and goes away in search of the path to peace, ultimate peace and eternal joy. I want to find the way. Works through almost whole life, how the conversion takes place. He never suffered, but seeing the suffering of others. Same thing you see in Vivekananda. You see, when he suffered a little, that was sufficient to make him have trust in the divine. But when he goes as Parivrajaka throughout the India, he undergoes tremendous transfer. He looks at the people suffering in ignorance, suffering because of poverty, suffering because of the diseases. His heart weeps. I have to find a way out from them. Like that, now search begins, inquiry into the reality. The search begins. Where is he? Why this is happening? Who is governing this world? What are the laws of this nature? He enters into Prakriti. He wants to know the secrets of nature. Slowly, the humanhood also is coming down. The animal who disappeared, humanhood is weakening. Divinehood is slowly manifesting. It recognizes the eternal existence. It touches the fringes of eternity, infinity, ocean of bliss, and all these sufferings. Slowly, you understand the secrets of nature. Finally, this manifestation of divinity is what makes them the love between two divine now. In the Jiva now, there is no vasanas that can drag him to the world, animalhood, nor even humanhood. Now it is pure divine, divine loving divine. When man understands he is divine, the real love flows out. He is no more body, he is divine. Now the love enters into a different dimension. It is like one is loving himself, he sees himself in God and God in him. This love binds. This is the fastening. Fasten, oh my mind, with the divine. How the Swamiji is singing, you see. Fasten your mind, O man, on the primal Purusha, the cause of all causes. What is the primal cause which has generated a series of causes? I am here, the world is here, much later than the origin of this universe. The universes appear and disappear in the absolute existence, that absolute unchanging eternal reality. That has caused this universe. It's a manifestation of that absolute. And universe has manifested so many jivas, so many multiplicity, multifarious universe. How many objects, how many species, how many varieties? Where from these appear? You go back, everything. Akashad Vayu, Vayu, Agni, Agni, Rapa, Adve, Prithibhyam, Oshadeya, Oshadebhyo, Annam. How it descends from one reality. One after the one it is cause of the Akasha, is the absolute, is cause of the Akasha. Akasha, Vayu, how did one is cause of the other, cause of the other. And all multifarious universe presents itself. So, what is the primal cause, first cause, which is unchanging eternal reality? That is cause of all. He is the primal Purusha, which is infinite, eternal ocean of bliss and bliss alone. Satchidananda Sagara, in which universes are appearing and disappearing. That Purusha he is telling. On the primal Purusha, fasten your mind, means let it never separate. When you are working in the world, let the mind be linked to the God, be anchored in God. The primal Purusha, who is the cause of all causes. Thakur used to use the term Karana, Mahakarana, Karana of the Karana, causes. The stainless one, nothing can stain it, stainless. Just like Akasha. Akasha means holy mothers is compared to the Akasha. Akashamiva nirlipta. Akashamiva nirlipta. You cannot stain space. You throw the color, everything, anything you can stain, but space you cannot stain. Fire cannot burn space. Space has given room for it to exist, but it cannot burn. Water cannot wet. It is stainless. You cannot stain it by any means. So, space itself is stainless. You imagine the eternal reality, how much unstaining it must be. So, that stain. Now, with respect to Akasha, it is the cause of the Akasha Vayu. Vayu has come from the Akasha. Vayu Agni has come from Vayu. One by one has come. The Akasha has a stain unseen. It is cause of another thing. In that it is not there also. Cause of all. It is eternal. It is stainless. Being cause of cause, it itself is presenting itself in another way. It's called an aspect of its existence. Now I am here. Now I go and start teaching something to small children. Now I was working, I was gardening, I was a gardener, and I went and started teaching. I became a teacher there. I was a gardener as long as I was looking after garden. Morning I was a gardener. In the afternoon children came. I started teaching them. I became a teacher. After they go, I start sweeping. I am a sweeper. I have not changed. One of my power is getting inside. Another power is manifesting of my own. The gardening power has come inside and teaching power has projected out. Teaching power has come inside and sweeping power has projected out. So I am the same. I am working in different aspects. My different aspects. When you take the absolute, it is existing in different form, just like water. Water is there. It is steam. Same water in another form. It has changed its form. Ice is there, water alone. In ice, nothing else is there other than water. In steam, nothing else is there. But they are not different, but distinct from each other. Distinct, but not different. They are distinct, but this we call it different aspects of the same reality. It is manifesting. Jiva is manifestation of the Brahman. All what you see, last you will see God in everything and everything in God. That's why when we bow down to Sri Ramakrishna, the first bowing down will be, He is the source of all. He is in all, and all is in Him. Second, All jivas are there in Sri Ramakrishna. And Ramakrishna is in all jivas. All jivas with Sri Ramakrishna sitting in his heart, we bow down once to Sri Ramakrishna. And all jivas in him, he has the container and all jivas in him. We bow down again. Then we bow down to the Avatara, Thakur Mother Swamiji. Or we bow down to all living beings. As God, as indweller is there, Sri Ramakrishna is in every life. And second time we bow down is in Sri Ramakrishna, all jivas. He is Sri Ramakrishna in all jivas. All jivas in Sri Ramakrishna. Two aspects. We bow down. Then Sri Ramakrishna has Avatara. Holy Mother has Avatara. Swamiji has Avatara. So these aspects, how we must be clear, slowly, one reality appearing as many. Slowly you come to the reality, Sarva Bhuti Brahma Darshan. And all Sarve Vastuni, in all objects, same reality, divine, 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 divine. That is the ultimate realization which we are going to reach. The one reality shining. You can see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Every grain he sees Krishna. Every tree he runs and sees Krishna, runs and hits. He is bleeding. He is seeing Krishna there. His end also. Seeing Krishna in the ocean, he runs and enters the ocean. There are two versions. He is merging in the Puri Jagannath image and he goes inside, and when they open the door and see he is no more there, he runs into the temple. The doors get closed, and when they open and see he is not there. Another version of his end is he runs into the ocean, seeing Krishna there. So how that everything is pervaded by yatra yatra drishtir gacchati tatra tatra Krishna spurati. Wherever the eye goes, there spontaneously Krishna appears there. Krishna appears there. That is the last stages of realization. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.